Hello, free enterprises! Welcome to another weekend of Mom's Spaghetti Club. My name is Neighbor Liana, and I'm joined in the booth by John Burkhead. How are you doing, John?
I'm doing great. Any day that we have some free enterprise going on is a good day. We have a very, very fun club with Mom's Spaghetti. In Vitasia's own words, not too much, not too little, just the right amount. Nice little throwback to the 8 Mile soundtrack from Eminem. And despite Scarcer's insistence, I cannot help from the commentator booth. But we have a fun flag set here. If you were looking for Zeromus, he's not going to be here today. We have quite a bit of opportunity for divergence. We have T Wild, meaning anything can be in a chest. Sparse 70, so 70% of them will be filled. We have S Wild, you can buy literally anything in shops with a max tier 6 for the T Wild. There's a potential to find anything in shops. And we have our wacky flag of omnidextrous, which means that anyone can equip anything. There's lots and lots of opportunity for all kinds of wacky things to happen today.
There are indeed, and that's what's absolutely phenomenal. An omnidextrous, yeah, anyone can equip anything. Good anchoring possibilities if you need one.
Yep,
Hella's
speaking of
start
anchoring,
is interesting.
Telestart is anchoring, absolutely. So if you want to find that Drain Sword, that Dwarf Axe, even that Cursed Ring, and throw that on Tela, pretty much your anchoring is good to go from there. If you want to be fancy, give him a couple Crystal Swords, you can see what happens, absolutely. But when I see Tela, I think slow anchoring right away.
I think I've seen Scarcer in the past put an adamant armor on Tella and have him throwing spells everywhere. That's something you can do if you feel like it.
I'll have you know, I have not, ironically, put adamant armor on Tela. There have been seeds where I've been fast anchored and wanted Tela to go ahead and get some turns in. Tela can have an awful lot of utility. Go aboard deals, and you have Berserk. He starts with Blink, he starts with Exit. Tela, in my opinion, one of the more underrated characters that we have in our character pool here in Free Enterprise.
Yeah, he's fairly underrated. He's a very good character to have, especially if there's no Fusoya, because you can get your spell utility. And now
Absolutely.
we are off.
All right,
Oh,
Rose is a
a
great
Rosa.
start. All right, well,
We did not
that
get any key item.
we did not. We are on K main, we are on K summon, and we do have monster boxes that are also going to have the possibility for key items. So with all of those boxes on the table, plus the summon pool interjected in between, it's more likely that you'll get a Zonk at the beginning. But that's a pretty solid Zonk to get. Artie Bow, very powerful. Also, speaking of agility manipulation, that Artie Bow will give a plus 10. You don't often see arrows being used when it comes to Omnidextrous, but if you are going to use arrows, Artie Bow is probably the best way to go ahead and go forward with it.
As I have heard from some silly thing in the past. Very beautiful, very powerful.
Words that cannot be used to describe me. However, we have Scarsor going into Barrentown, which is a character check, but also on T Wild, it doesn't really matter where you loot. Okay, T Wild means you can basically find anything anywhere. Now, we do have a max tier of 6, so you're not going to be finding crystal swords or adamant armor anywhere, but you're not looking to go to dangerous places like Eblin where there are monster boxes for loot. You're just looking for a density of checks.
You are. And I think I've seen in the past some people go to. What's it called? The place where you get Tella and Vanilla. I don't remember the
Wa-
exact name location.
The Watery
Watery
Pass is an
Pass.
excellent check, and since you have that Tela, being able to exit out of there makes life a lot easier. There are a lot of checks on that first floor, but you kind of get caught awkwardly in the waterfall there, so being able to cast exit is helpful. Speaking of dense checks, looks like Scar is going to try to do a 2-for-1 here. Antlion Cave has a lot of boxes to go ahead and check. None of them have monsters in them, so that's not really a concern. And he is banking on the ability to go ahead and be able to get through no matter what. That kit, we have random kits, and starting with 10 karate gis and 10 headbands, that is a lot of strength very, very, very quickly. Um, So being able to stack those in Omni is great. Joe going for the meme took his time to go ahead and go there, and it was empty. That is tragic. But on behalf of Restream Joe, we thank you for your service.
Yes, we do, Joe. We love you. We'll talk to you after, but oh yeah, the checks in the Damsian Castle. Yeah, there's a lot of chests there. You can get a lot of interesting items.
Yep.
And who knows? Power.
Yep.
Power overwhelming yet?
Scar did just find a Stardust Rod. It's a little bit slow, but it certainly will help with power overwhelming. That light sword is a very solid find, and that assassin dagger
Yeah.
also good for agility as well. So I think it's safe to say that both of our runners here are able to get through some of these early checks, and that Stardust Rod is going to pay some pretty big dividends because that is a very gross and annoying gauntlet. If you're going to find the gauntlet, and you have to find the gauntlet, it's good to find it early, but still super annoying.
Yes, indeed. I was waiting. I had a weird feeling the gauntlet would be coming to haunt us nice and early in the stream.
Well,
And there he is.
That weird feeling should be applied to Powerball. Heard it work that like both Powerball and Mega Millions are both like 500 million, something like that. So, if the premonitions are strong, we should be putting them to financial gain. And when you win big, please remember the co-commentator that gave you the tip. So Antlion is one of our 10 objectives. Both of our runners are going to be going here. This is not really any kind of a time sink because with such a Sphere Zero objective to be cleared here, both of our runners are going to be doing this. It'll be interesting to see how much Joe loots on the way down to see if he finds that Stardust Rod.
Yeah, it would be nice for him to get that Stardust Rod just so we can deal with the gauntlet a lot easier. But what I noticed is Joe put a light sword on his Tella. Is this Tella going to be our big swinger?
I mean, for today, it might be. Light Sword is a wonderful, very, very powerful weapon. If you're running T-Pro and you have a Cecil, and you find a Light Sword, you might be done looting. You might not, it can be a nice stand-in for that Holy Sword. It looks like he is heading straight down here. Honestly, he gets punished by exactly this check because, Poison Axe, Light Sword, you put those two together and you are really going to be swinging for the fences early. So it's a little awkward here for Joe. He does have a Blizzard Spear in his inventory. That could be used as an item to possibly take some of these characters out, but this might take a little bit longer for him than it would be for Scarcer.
It might. And what I noticed is, wow, speaking of holy swords, half a legend sword, half a forge, and is forge in any objective? Doesn't look like it.
Not one of our 10 million objectives, no. But, it's good to have. Not sure what the Forge is. It looks like... Oh, it's a Supersmith. So Supersmith, Forge, plus Omni could be a lot of fun. I don't know that when we're just looking for 5 objectives out of 10 to win game if we're going to get there, but it certainly could be fun if we do.
Dupe Tella. Gotta love having a... I take that back. We do not love having Dupe Tellas here.
No, with Omni, you don't really need to have that necessarily. If you end up needing to slow anchor later, knowing that that Tella is there, that can be a option in case of emergency. But Scarcer says, you know what, I'm good with the gear and the 2 characters that I have. Let's just go ahead and go right down to Babul Castle.
I wonder if this might be the tail end of Joe's gauntlet.
Yeah, I think he's
Demist.
Yeah. So this will end up being a double as long as Scarcer doesn't do what I do, which is forget to check Demist literally every single time. Free item for K-Main is not on, which means that Edward does not have it. However, Rydia's mother will. Also, a nice little a bit of agility manipulation there. We started with Tella in the center slot, and he's still there, and he had the Stardust Rod. And once Scarcer realized that Rosa was going first, he was able to recognize the fact that that probably wasn't going to change anytime soon, and swapped out the Stardust Rod from Tella to Rosa, since we're on Omni, so that Rosa could go first. Very heads-up play to go ahead and kind of max out your turn economy, if you will. So really heads-up play from Scarcer, and he's through that Demist.
Yeah, he is. And will we get a key item? A pan! A nice little bonk.
So with K Summon on, that pan bonk will be an opportunity for a key item, not to mention returning the pan and doing Sheila 1 as we refer it. Not a ton there in Sheila's closet. The light sword is good though.
Yeah, light swords are very nice to have. And if Joe chooses to loot that, he might be able to get two light swords on his Tella. And
Mhm.
he's taking the dupe.
He is. One might be a anchor, one might be for utility. He might just want characters. Um, you know, there's so much volatility with this flag set. You could be done in 30 minutes, you could be done in an hour 20. So I think Joe just might want to take the characters that are there and then make the most out of it. So I don't hate it. I don't think it's a terrible decision at all.
Yeah, I don't think that's a bad decision either. And just as a little pun, a little bit of utility, if you will. And here's the Demas check.
Nice. Yep, I had already forgotten. So good for Scar. Joe putting that light sword to work, hitting on the weakness of the dark elf in the second spot, and that is a quasi required pink tail.
That is a required pink tail, if as long as you feel like getting it, that is. I
Yep.
think Scarsura would get it.
Yep. Well, we'll need a hook to go ahead and turn it in. There are no adamants on, but with Omnidextrous, if we get a Dragoon Lance, we can use that. If we get an Avenger, we can use that. If we get a Crystal Sword, we can use that. There's a Charm Rod that you can double up on. That might have caught the eye of Scarcer to go ahead and pick up, perhaps. No, it's that Light
No, it's the
Sword.
light sword.
Light Sword has 99 strength and 99 accuracy. So I believe that both our runners have at least one, because Scar got one out of Sheila's closet. So to have 99% accuracy and 198 base damage to go through, on top of the being able to stack the +5 strength from the headbands or +3 strength from the karate keys, that's a lot. That's some very legitimate power. So we are ready to go ahead and Stardust Rod for some AoE. We're ready to go ahead and bonk bonk with Rosa. And speaking of Rosa and dupes, here's another one bearing in.
Nice little Baron and dupe Rosa. But since this is a key item check and a somewhat of a boss check, I think that's why Scar is taking it. You never know what you can find.
Absolutely. We are looking for bosses still. Wyvern is still on the table, as are the Magus Sisters, so the double boss check is good. Ogopogo is not, although if you're going to find Ogo, this is a very good spot to go ahead and find him in. The agility here can roll very low, which means you can go ahead and get a lot of turns. Possum Morpheus has a saying that Ogo is weak to Berserk. You can't really use spells against it without getting a flame counter. But the rapid fire attacks are good, which is why you're not seeing the Stardust Rod get used here. It's about 4,000 HP at this spot, so we're just looking to go ahead and bonk away. It looks like we have Tella acting as a white mage for our white mage, so that our white mage can bonk bonk, because this is in fact omnidextrous.
Always nice seeing the white mage go bonk bonk. And this is our little murder snack. Bye, murder snack. Wonderful seeing you.
Absolutely. So we've got another Rosa in there with dupes on, and we have a tower key, which is also an objective.
Well, I actually forgot tower was an objective. I was about to say, look, it's a keyless tower. Well, not a keyless tower. We have we have our key to go through a tower. You don't have to worry about keyless tower here. Yay! But it's an objective.
Yeah, I am not a fan of Keyless Tower in the slightest. One of my dear friends in the community, Elvin Sorrow, loves Keyless Tower. It is not for me. So even if that wasn't one of the objectives, I'm definitely relieved to go ahead and see that. But what I am curious about is where, oh where, is our underground access going to be? We have Scarcer going to Ordeals, and we also have our monster boxes were on the table. It could be in one of the chests in Eblin. There are 3 there, or it could be in the Flame Dog and Zot, or maybe we get it from Ordeals, or we get some kind of link from Ordeals. But either way, we are still looking for that next bit of progression to move forward.
Yeah, we are. And Mount Stinky. The Forbidden Mountain, what are the multiple names we have for this mountain again? I don't know. I don't remember them.
The accursed mountain, as it became quite well known. But we are looking for two different bosses, and these are three boss checks. If you come across a Cecil, it matters less in Omni as we find sirens and grimoires. Those grimoires can be
Yeah.
pretty significant, last minute ditch save me. Joe not buying any, feeling good with the gear that he has, but that's tempting. Those hourglass threes are huge. Because again, with the monster boxes in play, life is a lot easier if you can just go ahead and use the hourglasses while you take out the bosses. So buying three, presumably for Eblin. And speaking of huge, there's another Stardust Rod. Terraria is absolutely stacked today.
Yes, it is. Ribbons. We like ribbons. Sometimes we don't use them a lot. In vanilla, very important, but in this randomizer, I don't know.
Yep,
A
not
Kenyazo.
yeah, not as much. Scar being very heads up. Putting the ice brand on Rosa in addition to the light sword, understanding that until the water goes up, the weakness is not to lightning, but rather it's to ice. So now that the wave has gone up, this wave will not do too much damage here at all. That resistance is going to go away. However, now that the lightning bolt has gone through, in fact, we're so critically on HP that we are down in the shell. One more swing here from Rose is going to go ahead and do it.
Yes, it is. Very convenient that Kenyaza's here and not in some very ugly place.
Yeah,
But we have Joe. Welcome. Welcome to
yeah,
Zot.
yeah. Joe's looking for to go ahead and pet the doggo and see what might go ahead and be there. So again, lots of room for divergence. Going into the middle room, too bad. I swear, I never choose the right
Aw,
room
man.
when these are not in vanilla.
Where's the dog? There's the dog.
So
Back attack guards.
So a potentially rude boss here. Um, I think we're probably looking for some kind of mage killing gear, which we do not have. Physical attacks can result in a size counter, whereas spells can result in a piggy counter. When size occurs, you can still go ahead and cast your spells. We might be seeing a stop spell go out here, which is pretty heads up, as these are what are considered to be free bosses that don't have the boss bit. But melee attacks are significantly hampered. 3,000 HP at the spot, so each one has about 1,500. I did not even see who the boss was there at Zot 1.
That was Bahamut.
Aha! And Joe looks like he picked up the magma key from that flame dog chest.
Yes, very good. There's our underground access. I believe. Do we have any forced access, or can hook/magma key be anywhere?
Looking things over, I don't see a force hook or magma. Um, Magma Key does make things a little bit easier to get underground, obviously. And with that pan, I'd have to imagine with doing some kind of combination of maybe freebie and the pan bonk, or just immediately going ahead and doing the pan bonk for more free checks. Um, but Scar has the tower key from Baron Inn, which Joe doesn't have. And with both Pink Tail and Falcon Rays being required, as we get a Baron key here, which is also a key item that's required, you might almost prefer to have the hook route just because it makes things a little bit easier in terms of your objectives.
Yeah, it does. And here's Leviathan. Bye, Leviathan. Nice
Yeah,
seeing you here.
yeah, yeah. Light sword, karate gi, headband, all that good stuff. Doing quite a bit of work. Only 1,000 HP there. It doesn't even get a wave off. And Arlen are putting out a very good point. We are a hook from Go mode.
Whoa, a hook from Go mode already, and we're not even 20 minutes in. That just shows you how quickly a mom's spaghetti seed can be. Half an
Yep.
hour, an hour and a half, pick your poison.
Yep. It's I think seeds like this can really I think they're very wide open. If you have newer runners who are still kind of figuring things out, you can keep looting or keep looking for things until you find the power that you have. Veteran runners like Joe, and I'm going to start to put Scarcer in there. Scar has not been playing as long as some of the other runners, but as someone who's had the privilege and the pleasure of getting to know him a little bit, He does a lot of randomizers and he does them very, very, very well. So, being able to leverage the power that you find and then go, 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 because you don't know how quickly go mode is going to really, present itself. So, it's the opportunity to go fast with these flags certainly does exist.
It does indeed. And here's one thing that I noticed can definitely happen during mom spaghetti. Sometimes you'll feel like after a certain amount of time that you're really behind in checks and you'll start rushing and panicking a little bit. But then you don't know if your other runner is struggling a little bit.
Yeah,
But
I
what
mean
I
there.
noticed with this is my goal buzz. That was late.
Yeah, no. And some kind of mile. We're not going to check to see who it is because it's not on our list. Um, I mean, there are certain situations like that gauntlet at Anline. Everyone's going to deal with that gauntlet. As we see, Bahamut Orb, Big Bombs. We might have kind of gone past the point where J items like those big bombs have usefulness or utility, but if you find those things early on, you're in very good shape. Wow, that's a
Oh
lot to
my.
process. So we have crystal swords in one shop, we have dragon whips in the other, and we have what might be my favorite piece of gear, defensive gear. We have crystal rings for sale.
Yeah, crystal rings have the highest natural defense of anything else in the game. Very nice.
Yeah, they're no joke. You have plus 20 defense. You have a lot of resistances, including dragons. You have plus 5 agility. They are incredibly powerful.
They are indeed. And those crystal swords, was that a crystal sword or am I crazy?
No, well, you might be, but the crystal sword is. Sorry, we probably should make those jokes. I apologize. They were for sale. They are not cheap. 215,000 gold, and it's also worth noting that we are on the beta flags, which can definitely go ahead and make shopping more difficult because with the price adjustments that have gone through, the most notable price, I guess, increase would be that life pots went from 100 to 1,000. But along the way, they also made armor in general cheaper, which makes it seem like, well, John, if the armor's cheaper, then you should be fine, which is true. But when you go to sell that armor to buy other things, you don't get as much money from it. So purchasing can be a little trickier on beta flags. So it might be, even if we find Cecil, that crystal sword might not be bought anytime soon.
Octomam at Baron 1. Gotta love that.
Yeah, it's not too
And
bad.
Joe's in the underground.
Yep.
Welcome to the underground.
Joe might be looking to crack an egg here. I think we bought a dragon whip, and this is probably why. Also bought 3 sirens. For a runner like Joe, for those of you that might not be familiar with how Joe likes to run things here, Joe is notorious for going to the moon early. Joe finds a way to go ahead and have some pebbles and a slingshot, and then be on his way to Zeromus. So give Joe Omnidextrous and 3 sirens to get some legit experience on here, and I don't think that there's a single check in this game that he's going to be afraid of.
Oh no. Give Joe, like, I believe a Rosa and an Edge, and whoever's on the moon, and some good items. I'll be saying hi to the bosses on the moon. There's really nothing that can stop him once you give him enough power.
Yeah, yeah, and he's able to go ahead and find that power just about anywhere. So Scar finding a potentially annoying bomb in the second spot. That Stardust Rod's going to get quite a bit of use. Joe saving here, and I would assume if I'm Joe, my next stop is to go up the tower. It's a required key item check. It's 2 key item checks, and it's a required objective. And it looks like that's exactly where he's headed.
I think the most practical play is handling whoever's at Luge first, and then Super Cannon. I don't think I've seen people go do Super Cannon and then Luge, unless you've already peaked that spot and you're just like, I really don't want to deal with that boss.
Yeah. Also, Arnar pointing out that with 4 alert chests in here, it's more opportunities for key items. So this is going to be a very, very, very stacked tower potentially, or it could be a massive zonk. Scarcer, no, buddy, you have to do the fight. I'm sorry, you can't exit. Also, don't be mad at me when you hear me being sassy in the restream. Um, and I missed what was in that chest because I was too busy being mean. Ooh, an
Excal.
Excal. Yeah, yeah. There's some
Tasty.
there's some power there for sure. Normally, if you're down to like you need one key item, people go ahead and do the top. Fu maybe not
Oh, so yeah.
as juicy in Omniseed, but it's still just a phenomenal character to go ahead and find. Um, so normally you'll go ahead and you'll do the top of tower first because you find out what the key item is right away, and then you can potentially go ahead and avoid doing the bottom underneath. So we might go ahead and see that if we get go mode, if we get the hook from the very top of tower, then Joe might be just heading straight down. In fact, I would be tempted to even just do the top of tower and then hit the monster boxes on the way down. But on the flip side, we've got that X-Cal, which is going to make the other fights a lot easier.
Yeah, that Excal is fairly powerful once you get it. Dual wield Excals. Maybe find an Avenger. Excal Vengers. Crystal
Yeah,
Vengers.
and
Spoon
then this
Venger? I don't
Spoon
know.
Vendor is absolutely a thing, and then the seed is very much over. So, Scarcer gets through Baron Castle, has not done or attempted the basement. It's not an objective, but Case Summon is on, so that might be somewhere that we go at some point. Um, just a protect ring for his work, so definitely worth it for the objective and for the foo. Not necessarily for the key item, although Pro Ring is a nice gear. And Scar is on his way to Flame Dog to find his magma key.
We go to say hello, hello to the Flame Dog. Pet him with care, if you feel like it.
Yeah, I think he's probably going to be petting him with violence. ASPCA need not be concerned. As we see a Odin at the very top of tower.
Hi, Odin.
So what I found, we had a lot of Omni when it came to the OMG flag set, and what I found was often helpful was with one hand you'd want to go ahead and have your power, which in this case for Joe would be the X-Cal, and then on the other hand you'd want to have your extra, right? You have a Rune Axe for mages, or you have in this case something like a Thunderclaw for those that are weak to thunder. Um, Joe hasn't anchored at all, so Tella gets deceptively speedy. The agility can get quite a bit high here. So the magic is very low, and the Zentetsuken is a magic attack. So we're probably fine here, as we see we're loading up as much HP as possible on that top Rosa. But I think Odin is going to get a swing here before we get a chance to go ahead and take him out. And part of that is because we don't have any kind of lightning attack to go along with that Excalibur.
There it is. Boop. Ain't gonna hurt you that bad.
But it is, in fact, a boop. Uh, and down it goes.
Not the friendliest kind.
Yep. But Joe, understanding the situation, was able to go. I think that little pause that he had there as he found a Luca key. I don't see a sealed cave objective, although it is a boss check, and I have no idea if Warp Glitch is on. I think that little bit of a pause there was just to really go ahead and try to register whether or not we'd be able to go ahead and get through it. And Joe, understanding the game as well as he does, found a way. Very nicely done.
Yes, indeed. And G Warp is indeed on, so we can do the check. Gotta love Dwarf Castle.
Beautiful. All right, so Scar with that Fu. Does Fu have Quake? Fu has Quake.
Quack quack.
So Joe had found those hourglasses, but Scar found Fu. So I don't think this is going to be too much of an issue here.
Or down goes Rubicon to add Super Cannon. At least he's not in an ugly spot. Nice and easy to beat.
Yeah, I think the annoying ones to find there. It's not like Water Hag to find there. You think it's going to be a quick fight, and then you're there for what feels like eternity. And oh hey, Scar just found the Darkness Crystal.
Yay, we love having the Darkness Crystal. Hey, Joe.
Oh.
Can I
Cave,
interest you in a Darkness Crystal later?
I mean, Cave Bahamut is one of our objectives. So, in terms of things that Scar has access to, he's one away from winning the game because we have Tower Key, which is 3, and then we have Darkness, which is 4. Going up to do a moon fight can be a little bit sketchy. However, when you have Fu and you have Anchoring and you have Omni, there's a good chance that you're going to be able to go ahead. And now you have a Spoon. Um, there's a very good chance that you can go ahead and get through just about anything at this point.
Always nice to have a spoon. Always a perfect 255. And the best thing about with a spoon is something that brings all of your things up, like a crystal sword, for example. Want some extra strength? Here you go.
Yeah, or even that Excalibur plus 10. You know, get Earth Hammer plus 5, Black Sword plus 5, and plus 5 agility. There's all kinds of complementary weapons you can put in there. Spoonfly's not on.
There are indeed.
Never mind. Well, we tried. We tried, Scar.
We really tried. We're trying.
Yeah. I still think that he's in a good position to go ahead and take on that Cave Bahamut if he wants to. And that poses an interesting question because with K Summon being on, do you go to the moon? It's a long trip. You can also do the hair dryers while you're up there. You might have a decent chance at finding a key item up there. It might be, even though it might on some level appear a little bit risky, it might be worth the time to go up there because you might find your go mode.
That is very, very true. You could possibly. I believe Hook can be on the moon since we found our underground access already, right?
Yes, Hook can be on the moon.
Well, isn't that just fun? Mad ogres. They're not going to be that much of an issue.
Nope. I believe that Scar was looking for stone, which Fu did not learn yet. But again, being very heads up, understand that ogres can be sized. They have been sized. This dramatically impacts their physical defense. And I think they're going to go down very, very, very shortly.
Now we have Rosa Gober.
Yeah,
Love seeing Rosa Gober.
Yeah, quite a bit in this scene. Meanwhile, Joe looking for the warrior chest, which could provide some semblance of go mode for him. Because we are in no mode, I believe, right? Because Tower is 3, Baron Castle is 4, and then Cave Bahamut's 5. So neither one of our runners, that must be a mute knife there that Scar has on for the mage weakness. Very nicely done. Very heads up. And just an elixir for his juggles. So I think we are in no mode here. And there's still several avenues where our runners could go ahead and find their own unique go mode.
That is very, very true. I believe... I don't necessarily remember what Joe got from that one check after Tower. I didn't catch it.
He has the Luca key, which is a boss check, although it is a awfully long one. But beyond that, I'm not sure.
Since it's not on the tracker, I'm assuming that it wasn't a key item.
Yeah, he did pick up the rat tail along the way from the Silver Cannon room.
Rat tail's nice to have, and that's probably a good trade-in once you get your hook. It's always good to get both of them out of the way, just so you know that. That's 2 checks away. It's nice and convenient. Maybe we might be getting a pan bonk soon.
Yeah, I mean that's
since
3...
we have the pan and Sylph.
Absolutely, that's 3 free opportunities to go ahead and get the go mode. You talked about it earlier. Excalvenger, go burr burr burr.
Yay!
There's definitely nothing that Joe can do right now. That dwarf axe is great for agility anchoring. That's quite significant.
Wait till he gets the darkness crystal. That'll be occupying.
Yeah.
Once he finds that, say hello to the moon.
Yeah. So it looks like Joe is trying to use that Centertella for both utility as well as agility. We've got that Dwarf Axe on, which is going to go ahead and slow him down. And I think a Dwarf Axe even affects Wisdom. But on the flip side, you have 2 tiaras going on there to go ahead and boost the Wisdom too. So
That is true. And there's an Adamant. Super Smith? Question mark?
For Scar, I would say yes. For Joe, I would say no, as we see a very nice shot there with Bacchus Wine. Um, Joe's good. Like, how much power do you really need? And if it's just something like a Mist Whip, or Perseus Arrows, then you've completely wasted your time. For Scar, who doesn't have that overwhelming power in terms of a melee character right away, I might go ahead and hold up. That's DKC and a Karate. That DKC is going to hit for about, you know, 850 each. Oh no, in that spot it's going to swing for like 1200. Yeah, leaving is the correct choice.
Yeah. Whew. I wouldn't want to deal with that. Thank goodness that is not a required thing.
Yeah. Joe taking on that Yang. That's a speedy Yang, and it's going to hit decently well. I feel like these kicks are going to hit for around. Um, the kick will be around for like maybe 300, but there you're seeing the overwhelming power of Excalvenger, and now the blink going on. So the blink won't protect against the kicks, but it will prevent against direct melee attacks. We have 23,000 HP at the spot, and it looks like Rose is going to be getting 4 swings in per turn, and then again Joe doing the calculations, and down goes this Karate.
Wonder, since this can be a key item, what shall we obtain? An Earth Crystal. Opens up Zot and opens up the Treasury, which probably isn't going to be that good in this.
Yeah, I'm not sure that Zod is exactly what you want to find when you're here. On T Wild, the Treasury doesn't have any extra value than any other checks outside of the density of them. Um, Plus max tier 6, as Garnar is pointing out, like you're not gonna. I don't think you're gonna go there. Plus, I think Joe's done looting. I mean, what more do you really need? Joe is gonna go ahead and forge. I'm a little surprised by this. Um, I don't know that I would necessarily be doing this, but Joe's also a lot better at this game than I am. So let's see what we find here. It could be something fine, very fun, like a Lightbringer or an Abel's Lance. Could be Scrap Metal. Could be Perseus Bow. I guess we'll see.
Able Lance. 2 words. Able Lance.
Yeah. And the S-Wild tradition of having, speaking of useless,
Ollie Burn.
Yeah, referred to as the Excalibur. On our Godhand would have been a nice stat stick, yeah, to go along with something else, but yikes, big yikes there. I guess we're gonna use it as reducing the agility. So Joe taking one of the worst forges of the game and still finding some value. So very nicely done there. His anchoring is set now for the rest of the seed. It's just a matter of where you're going to go next. We know that Go Mode is available. Are we going to find it? And maybe we will. We're about to get 3 checks with the Panbonk and then Shield 1 and 2 afterwards.
I think that hook is either here or at some altar on the moon. I don't think it'd be with hair dryers or Bahamut.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be at an altar.
Joe taking the monster boxes on the way down here. I'm a little surprised by this. So with the way that the checks work, at least this is how they worked when it wasn't in the beta, so this might not be correct anymore. So Sylph has seven chests that have monsters in them. The likelihood of finding a key item in one of these monster boxes is significantly less than going somewhere like Flame Dog, where there's only one, or Last Arm, where there's only one, or even Eblin, where there's only 3. Very long story short, so don't take up all the time here. It's a lot less likely that you're going to find progression or a key item in one of these spots. So I'm a little surprised to be seeing this happening right now.
Could be just maybe if I get a couple more key items, maybe Go Mode is like right here waiting for me. Old lady.
I agree. It's just when you have so many paths to Go Mode and you don't have to worry about Z. You can get it from Twin Harp. You can get it from finding the Magus Sisters at one of your spots. You can get it from the hook. You can get it from the package. It's just a little surprising to me that with so many different ways to go ahead and find it, especially without a traditional sweeper, right? If we had an RA1 Foo that was casting Quake, if this was Scar, where you could go ahead and run buffer and get through it quickly, that I could understand a little more carefully. But this is significantly more time consuming. So it's I don't know. It's just not exactly the way that I would do this. But again, if you ever see the times that Joe puts up, they are astronomically quick and efficient. And he is prone to making unorthodox choices, and very often they work out for him. Fortune favors the bold, so we shall see.
And let's see if fortune favors him this time. Because, yeah, Joe, sometimes he can be unpredictable. But sometimes you just know if you give him a darkness crystal and two good characters, he's going to the moon. You can't stop him.
Yeah, I mean, the moon looks very attractive to me personally right now because you have a required Cave Bahamut that could provide Go mode. You have the hair dryers, and especially for Scar, where you have Quake, and you have a last arm chest that you can save Scum, or you could even go ahead and check Giant One on top of it, because if that happens to be Wyvern or Maga Sisters, you're done. So it's interesting. There's a lot of ways you can go here, and there's a lot of valid trains of thought.
There really are. Now here's the question. What's gonna be given to us from this dear Sylph?
Self something be pretty funny. Just a golden apple.
An apple. Only an ow apple, if you will. An apple.
Well, you're on fire today with the puns. Look at you, going strong.
I'm sorry. I have to. I have to
No,
be a little
listen,
funny.
as a dad, any pun dad joke is 1,000,000% approved and and welcome. So, apologize for absolutely nothing. All right, so we know that we've already seen the result from Odin. Not that I remember what it is, but we've already seen it, so there won't be any new information here. But Joe turning the pan will provide two pieces for us pretty quickly.
I believe that darkness crystal was somewhere in the dive down to the Land of Monsters, and Joe didn't check that one chest.
I think Darkness might have been Eblin, I want to say.
Oh yeah, Eblin. It was an Eblin.
Mhm.
Sorry, I'm crazy. Just a little bit.
There's a required package.
Package.
And another Avenger. Oh, Lordy. All right, so package is a third one that that Joe can go ahead and do right now. Did not find the Baron Key, did not find the Darkness Crystal. I think Eblin is a logical destination for him next, and if he heads there, he's going to be very much in go mode.
Off to the moon we go, then. Gotta love that. If he even makes it to the moon before finishing the seed.
Yeah, so he's done.
Is this a treasury check?
No, he
Is
might
this
be
Zod or
Zod.
treasury?
This might be Zod. What more could he possibly need? He's got two Avengers. He has an Excal. No, this is two boss checks. I guess he already knows the first one. But yeah, I'm a little surprised by this. But again, Joe likes to, very much kind of find his own routing.
He likes giving us a little bit of a surprise. We never know where he's gonna go. We'll say, oh, he's gonna go here. No, he's not.
Mm-hmm.
It's like he knows.
Yep. So Scar gets the news of Rat Tail. Did Scar do Panbonk?
I don't think Scar did Panbonk.
Right. But Scar is headed to the moon. This is kind of what we were talking about earlier. So the Cave Bahamut check will be 4, and then if that does not provide go mode for him, what's left? I guess Hook and Twin Harp? Are those the only things that we have yet to see?
Hook, Twin Harp, and I believe the Falcon we have not seen yet.
Right, so Falcon comes from Hook. So Hook would be able to...
That's right.
Yep. So, but to your point, I don't think we're going to need to do the Hook route at any point. Because I think both of our runners will get to go mode before then. Unless, I shouldn't say that. If Joe finds the hook here, then he'll probably turn into Pinktail and then do the Falcon soon after.
Yeah, he will. Or if can Rattail give a key item? I think it can, because if he gets the key item necessary from that, which could be Harp. Oh, it's the Cecil we were talking about earlier.
Yep, still very
Face
much
down.
in Dark Knight form. We also get some boss information that is a Sparkle at Dwarf 2, and that could be Wyvern. So, between Warp Glitch being on and a 20, I don't think we've seen any. No, we have seen Ogo. Oh, and there's another Foo. So I think the only Sparkle we've seen is Ogo, I want to say. So a 25%
Yeah, it was
chance.
only Ogo.
hmm So, 25% chance of having your boss hunt plus 2 key item checks. Joe might be headed to Dwarf after this.
Well, there goes our Cecil. Goodbye, Cecil. Welcome Fusoya to the party.
Yeah,
Quack.
DKC in Omni is not awful. It's just that there are better choices that are available. The characters that have already been grinded up a little bit, not to mention the utility of a Foo. So,
Water Hag.
yeah.
Easy to get through.
Yeah, just a little bit. He should be just fine. Again, with the power that he's got, it's very unlikely that there's going to be any kind of problem whatsoever. We have hair dryers over here on the left-hand side. One Quake and they're down. I wonder if Scar wanted to put Fu in the top slot there to get him to go, to get Fu to go first. So we might see some adjustments moving forward here. And just a lot of apples. A lot of produce.
Hey, an apple a day keeps the doctor away.
At the moment, an apple a day is keeping the progression away, but yeah, I hear what you're saying.
I guess the progression is the doctor in this case.
Don't apples have like a lot of sugar though?
I have no clue. Natural sugars, yeah. I think those sugars are the ones that are actually good for you.
Yeah, that's fair. I don't know. I have a massive sweet tooth. I could eat, you know. I need to be careful for my daughter because if I start going to town like I want to, she's gonna want to do the same thing, obviously.
Honestly, me too.
Oh,
and that's a good and I just remembered, we don't want to see Luge. That's the doctor you're keeping away from with these apples.
That's fair.
No Luge.
But we are headed toward that Twin Harp. So Joe with the gamble, and it pays off. And we are headed right to that Twin Harp because that's going to be another objective for Joe. Still missing that Darkness Crystal. And this is an Elements fight, which is honestly going to be fine with the way that we are set up here.
Hello, Golbez. Wonderful.
Oh.
It's going to give a spiel.
Did Scar not get any of the... Oh. Does he I guess there's 2 objectives on Joe's side?
I think?
Yeah. And why is Joe taking this fight?
You have super cannon.
Does Joe think that Golbez is one of our objectives? Or is he trying to get
I'm unsure.
Trying to get our characters down for the magnetism of... I'm very confused here. I'm not sure why he's taking it. This is definitely going to be something to ask once we get into our mode here.
Yeah, once we get him into the booth. That's a very good question. Like, why?
Yeah. Meanwhile, Scar
why
says, you know what? That Elements is a little bit punchy for me, so why don't I go to where there's 2 more key item checks? Excuse me. I think we know where all the key item progression is outside of the hook. We have, I believe, found everything else.
Yeah, and this is actually going to unveil what Sparkle was on Zot.
Yeah.
Who's there?
Is Joe taking this for the spells on Fu?
He might be.
If that puts it at 1600. What spells? I mean, at 1900 you're at full power, 1800 you learn all your spells. Not really, really too sure why we're doing this or what he's looking for exactly. Maybe Quake? I don't know.
We already have Quake though. That's the thing. I noticed that in his thing. He has Quake. Is he just trying to get full unlock on Fu?
or maybe nuke. Maybe you must be able to nuke through some things. That's one angry foo though. Good lord. Charm rods plus 10. Each of those tiaras. What was it? Plus 35 wisdom. Yeah, that's an angry foo.
Very angry indeed. And was that a Valvalis I saw having a nice time up there?
Yes, it was.
Yeah, there
So
she is.
Val, under normal circumstances, is awful here. The main thing with Val is that you can't typically cast spells the way that you want to when she's in her spin. But at this spot, the physical evade is also quite frustrating. Now that being said, with the power that we have, it's not that big of a deal. But even for as loaded as that Rosa is, there you see only doing 1,000 damage. It can be quite rude. So with the Berserk, the swings do a little bit more. There's 9,000 at the spot. It's about 1,300, so we're about quarter of the way through here. So say about another maybe 5 or 6 swings, and we'll be through. So it's going to be a little time consuming. But then we have potentially, maybe we're going to go ahead and find our Wyvern, and then we'll be in good shape.
Yeah, a nice little wyvern find would be nice. And it looks like we might be getting some music soon.
Yeah.
Tetris?
Could be. Isn't it always? Or Lunar? I feel like it's always Tetris or Lunar. We don't
Always
have
Tetris.
why burn on though. So hopefully Scar has some Star Veils. Joe has the knowledge that this could be a thing. Scar is going to get a little bit of notice from the sprite, but this could be a little tricky.
The thing is, it could very well be something like Plague, or... What else could it be?
You could have D-Lunars.
We've seen Oppo. Yeah, D-Lunars.
Or it could be Pale Dim. The magic's very low here. I've seen the Mega Nuke like literally miss here. It's not something to rely on necessarily. Another tell, good lord. We'll see who we got. It is Pale Dim.
Pale Dim.
The Dude King himself.
Uh-oh, here's our music. You know what time it is.
Yeah,
We're gonna shut up and let you listen to your songs.
Oh, is that what we do now? Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, we're just gonna shut up.
Oh, okay. I struggle with that.
see you all on the other side.
Well, beautiful music from Sacred of Mana. Antline, not a required boss. It does get Nuke, which Joe will be happy to have. Scar's Warp Glitch did not take. Let's see what we get here. Whole lot of
defense sword. And there's a sand ruby.
So
a sad ruby, if you will.
Yeah, it is definitely a sad ruby at this point. I don't think any of our runners are looking for characters here. Scar is looking for the Darkness Crystal, or excuse me, Joe's looking for the Darkness Crystal that Scar has. Scar probably looking for the Twin Harp that Joe has. We're gonna get some more disappointing forage here. And will Joe make his way toward Eblin? We know that that's where the answer is.
We will see. And I think that's exactly where he's going. Nope. Oh. Back down we go.
And where are we going? We're going back to
Land of Monsters.
We're going to take on that DKC.
Or maybe he's going to try to find that monster in a box, because I think it was that chest right there. Wait, no, I'm still thinking Eblin. It's an Eblin. Mm-hmm. Darkness Crystal's an Eblin.
Yeah.
I'm crazy.
So
why do I think there was a key item?
No, I think Joe did
swore there was a key item. Oh yeah, Joe has checked the Warriors chest, but that's
Mm-hmm.
I'm out of
Yep.
whack, but that's fine.
Yep. Baron Basement still on the table as well. That's true. That's not available to Joe, but is available to Scar. So that's a fairly logical spot to go. So is Scar feeling strong enough now to go ahead and give that element spot another try? That, that Thunderclaw tells me we're probably going to last arm right now. And I do believe that's where we're headed.
Last arm and possibly a giant boss check.
Well, it could be. Yep. We're still looking for 2 of them. Without dragon killing gear, Wyvern is pretty awful up there. And Magus Sisters at the first spot is just the worst. I do believe that he's got a mute knife to go along with the X-Cal, so it would be fine, but it would still suck. Also, we are trying to go ahead and kill this DKC. 35,000 HP worth. We've got good rolls. Everyone that was relevant lived. So if we can get another nuke off here, maybe we get through this. This is gutsy. It is not every day that you see this aggressive of approach with this fight. But if this nuke gets off, and it does, don't forget, that's triple Tiara, double Charm Rod, plus 35, Wisdom, 9,000, and down goes that DKC. That's a thing of beauty right there. Like we talked about earlier, knowing how to leverage your power, and that's a great way of knowing how to leverage your power. My goodness.
There's full power Fu. And a crystal, which is useless, guys. Don't worry about the crystal. You don't need it.
That's cute. That's real cute. Free Moonveil. That could be relevant. Bacchus was for sale.
Could be.
Scar is going to go ahead and continue on and do the boss check here. We'll see if he save scums here. So if he hops down another slot to go ahead and check to see, to have both save slots preserved, which I don't know if he did. If he's keeping that Moonveil or if he's going to go back to a save slot before he went to the Giant in the first place. That's Mylon Z.
A version of Mylon. Mylon Z.
That's pretty stinking quick when you have a Holy Sword and an Avenger. Oh no, I'm sorry, it's Mylon Friends.
It's just Mylon and Friends.
God awful. I would not. This is a no from. This is a hard pass for me. This fight takes forever. I know that you have nuke, but every single attack on Mylon results in a lit 1 counter. Not to mention the initial time of trying to chop through the ghasts. This is enough for me. Oh, I apologize, Eleanor. Thank you. Joe, continuing with the monster boxes here. Now, with the Drain Spear and the Dwarf Axe, minus 15 agility, you now have Fu at RA1. Now I am fully on board with this, because Fu can Quake and Virus his way through before you have any kind of issues whatsoever. It looks like Joe is on Battle Speed 3, so we can go ahead and get these spells off. Now this makes a lot more sense to me.
Just a nice few little monster in a box checks. We gotta see if we can find our hook. Where could our hook be? Where has my little hook gone?
I mean, technically, correct me if I'm wrong. No, that sounds sure. And Harrow Robe is the golden. That is one sad teller right there. Harrow Robe is kind of the golden piece of gear when it comes to Omnidextrous, so that's a really nice thing to find. Yeah, we're definitely running out of spots where it could be. Baron Basement still on the table. Could be through here. Don't have a ton left, honestly. So maybe the hook.
Yeah, there's not very much. It's worrisome because this could be gated on the moon.
Yeah, we still haven't seen the result of Cave Bahama. That's a good point. And there's the hook. There's go mode.
There it is.
All right. Joe has his way through. So it would be
there, my friends. There it is.
It'd be pretty funny to see either Wyvern or or Magus Sisters on the hook route. Um, oh, that's right. We saw the package turn in. Absolutely,
Oh
yep.
yeah, package turn-in.
Forgot that he hadn't done that yet. So Joe is, and we don't even need to complete the whole thing. Um, so by turning the tail first, as soon as that package gets delivered, we're going to see a go from Joe here.
Woo!
So very exciting race, very fun race. A lot of divergence, a lot of valid ways to go ahead and go about this. Um, these seeds are very very fun because you really don't know what to expect at any given moment.
Can I interest you in an Avenger?
Always, always. I have I watch an awful lot of Pasta Morpheus when it comes to free enterprise and try to do the things that he does. He's a very big fan of an Avenger, and I've always said that one day I hope to find someone that can look at me the way that Possum looks at an Avenger. And I have come to have the same love for Avengers. They are just so broken and so incredibly good.
Aw, hi DKC. What you doing up there, buddy? I thought you
Joe.
were the one burning the town.
Well, I mean, he's kind of did the vanilla game, right?
What you doing? It's fine. He's just gonna be there while we get the message of you've completed the seed.
Yeah. Can we talk about how like
What do you have to say?
we win the game by burning down the village? It's like you win.
Congratulations! You've burned down a town.
Oh, goodness gracious. All right, get your GGs in chat for Judge Joe with a finish time of 58 minutes and 42 seconds. GGs to him. A very nicely run race, showing off all kinds of cool things. And we'll see if he wants to pop in for an interview at some point.
That is a very good point. I think it'd be nice if we got Joe in here for a nice little interview.
Joe's very pleasant to talk to. He has a wonderfully relaxed disposition. Never gets rattled. There he is. GG's, my friend.
Yeah, GG's.
Thank you. Was I had fun with the seed.
It looked like it. You definitely made some unique decisions, as you are prone to do. What were your overall thoughts in general?
It's ambidextrous, so with that starting kit with 10 headbands, you literally just need to, anyone will work, pick up 2 sticks, you can start fighting. So just go through the seed and have fun.
Yeah, that makes an
Yeah,
awful
that's a
lot of
very
sense.
good point.
When you took on that Golbez, was that to get spells on Fu?
Yep, I was looking for either Cure 4 or Nuke. Cure for the DKC. And also, I didn't save Sense Dot or Found, so there wasn't a reset option, I don't think, for the Golbez.
Oh, yeah. You? Not save? How can it be? I've never heard of such a thing.
Now, I've heard
Too
of
much
pulling a
recent talking
Tibble,
about
but
it.
Joe.
What was the decision to, without a typical sweeper, right? And not being anchored, that first dip down to Sylph on your way to turning of the pan. I was a little surprised for you to take the monster boxes there, given the generally low odds and the fact that those fights were going to be a little bit longer. Can you talk about your decision to go ahead and do that?
So it's mostly a matter of it not being vanilla traps. With it not being vanilla traps, I knew there were a decent chunk that I could, with HP, get through. The ghosts were the main ones that would have been slow or annoying, versus every other one, there's no fire animations, and I was pretty sure I had a way to handle the Toad Lady, other than apparently just get lucky with the Avenger wielder. But so I decided to just take the ones on the pan side on the way. XP is also always nice with the DKC. I wanted to fight it. I knew I couldn't the first try, but I still wanted to fight it.
Yeah, it's very impressive to see DKC in that spot be taken out instead of cheesed with, heal pots or Eddie hiding or something. That was a very impressive, very, very impressive fight.
Uh, Omni Avenger Zerkers, quite strong.
Agreed.
Fu with triple tiaras and Fu with plus 50 wisdom, also quite strong.
Yep. You never went to Eblin.
No, I did not. I also never went to Ordeal.
Why would you phrase it like that? No, John, actually, I did not. That is correct, sir. Why would you say it like that?
Well, yes. I sometimes fumble over words.
Oh, yeah, well, big same there. That's fair. Was that an
Word
active
fumbling?
decision?
So yeah, I got the Magma Key. I had 3 hourglasses, thought about taking Eblin, but if I remember right, I had the Power Key, I had the Pan, I had 3 Sirens, so I decided to go and mess about with underground stuff. And then, never felt like I decided to go back to underground stuff rather than do the overworld fades.
I mean, it makes sense when you have so many different, mathematically, so many different ways to go mode. That makes a lot of sense. Your Darkness Crystal and Baron Key were both in there, though.
So that replaces Hook. And you either need so that with the Twin Harp package, you only need one of the Twin Harper package.
Right. Yeah, good call going up Zob, by the way. I don't know a lot of runners that would have done that, and it paid off huge for you.
Yeah, Twin Harp was, well, you mentioned Darkness and Baron. Based on my lack of boss hunt, could be one of the dwarf, could be Luca, but the bosses are hiding. That's pretty much the two key items objectives left. Outside of the Hook and Sylph, there wasn't fading Eblin. There wasn't too many options, I guess. Outside of Eblin, that would have paid out left in the seed.
Yeah, we were commenting over here, just like where on earth is the Hook, and obviously it was buried in Sylph, but there were not a lot of options left at all. We did see Scar finish Baron Castle, but we didn't see Baron Basement. And we just saw him go ahead and complete Elements over at Cave Bahamut, but he did Hair Dryers, he did Last Arm, and we still hadn't found it. So we were definitely running low on checks. Both of you got through a tremendous amount of things very, very quickly. So yeah, it was just one of those seeds.
Yep. I just kind of came in with the intention to have fun with it. Like, obviously, I was going to attempt to win, but I wasn't going to go and worry about playing optimal or best odds. I'm just going to go and have the fun checks, use the fun party members, and enjoy the seed and hope to show some random fun.
I mean, anyone that watches you knows that you're one of the more relaxed runners, and you definitely see things for what they are. You have a incredibly strong ability to, see what you have and know how to leverage your power better than, I'd say, 99% of runners across the board. So it is always fun to watch you, and it's always a pleasure to talk with you as well.
Yeah, it's always fun to be here and attempt to put on some sort of a show. Some are more interesting, others involve 1200 strats.
Yeah, this was definitely a good one. Neighbor, I've been talking his ear off. Do you have anything you want to add? I'm so sorry.
Oh, don't worry, John. You're absolutely fine. There's just one thing I wanted to say because I know I forgot to do this earlier on. I want to thank my co-commentator. I want to thank you, John, for being my co-commentator. I want to thank the runners today, Scarcerer and Joe, and I want to thank our tracker and our restreamer, Aaron Lore and Step, because wow, what a show today.
Yeah, for sure. All right, Joe. Well, amazing show as always. Seriously, follow these runners. That they're just they're really, really good. Anytime tournament time comes around, Joe is always going deep into every single tournament that we have. And Scar is relatively new, but in the last tournament put up a terrifying show for the rest of us. So they're just great runners, great people, all huge parts of this great community. Can't thank you enough.
Yeah, it's good to be here. Hope you guys have a good afternoon, night, day, wherever you are.
All right, my man. GG's.
See you, Joe.
All right, so that was our runner of Judge Joe, with winning time 58 minutes and 42 seconds. Meanwhile, Scarcer did get through that elements using very nice reflect strats, utilizing the moon veil that he got from the last arm check. Oh my goodness, excuse me. And constantly reflecting fire threes and cure fours, prohibiting elements from changing phases and getting through the fight a little bit quicker. He started to go down the LST. I thought maybe looking for bosses. And then perhaps Scar realized that K Moon is not on and is now heading toward the Fey March. Or, excuse me, heading toward Sylph. So, did he ever turn to the pan?
He might be. That might be what he's doing right now. And I actually entirely forgot K Moon wasn't on.
Yeah, it's there's a lot with these flags. It's definitely I've had more than a couple restream races where I have actively looked for demist and free item was on. It's
Trust me, that happens.
yeah, Aaron, I thought the same thing with the boss hunting, but and maybe we can certainly ask him what he was thinking there. But we just need something to give here. We know where everything is outside of bosses. Maybe if he goes down to Baron Basement, he'll find either Wyvern or Magus Sisters, both of which are awful down there. That is just disgusting spots for both. But I think he's got the power and the utility to go ahead and get through both those fights, despite how gross they are. So, I forget what we got from the we got Earth Crystal from this, maybe. And maybe it sends.
Yeah, we got Earth Crystal and I believe maybe another Avenger or something.
Package might have been from here, maybe.
I don't really remember. I just remember that there's a key item here somewhere.
Yeah. So, I think we're heading toward go mode one way or the other. It's people use the phrase very often. Rando's going to rando, and with flags as wide open as these, rando's absolutely going to rando. And there is the package and an adventure, but that package will put Scar 5 and 5. So both of our runners will find victory in fiery violence.
Yeah, indeed. Did we get a key item from that?
We did go ahead and get the package.
Alrighty, we got package, which means there it is.
Yeah, that'll be the end. So Scar on his way to provide fire and death, and then that'll be GG's for him as well. Very nicely run race. He showed us some very cool moments and utility. Just a really solid runner and a really good run. Yeah, as
look,
a paladin,
we don't have Dark Knight here.
No, even as a paladin, still doing the thing. It's a little rough.
Man, Cecil, I thought you were better than that.
Yeah, it's not wrong. Also, the antlion fire is cute. Gotta love that.
It is really, really cute. Just nice little. He's just giving you a little wave, guys. He's just waving.
Absolutely. So that is.
There it is. Congratulations.
GG's for Scar, getting through with official time of 1 hour, 10 minutes, and 41 seconds. And we'll see if he wants to pop in here, have a little chat. But meanwhile, just a very nice run. It can be very overwhelming to have so many options and so much gear. And both of our runners just did a tremendous job of leveraging it to go ahead and officially get through a lot of checks. We saw a lot of the game in 1 hour and 10 minutes.
Yes, we did. But congratulations! You burned a town and you won the game. Very beautiful.
Not sure what that
Very
teaches us
powerful.
morally, but I'm here for it.
Remember, kids, don't burn towns just to be successful. That's a crime.
It is, in fact, a crime. Oh, man. I remember years of debates of, like, do video games cause, violence, this, that, and the third, and I could definitely see some people from way back when be like, see, I told you, look at these kids. They burned down the village of Mist, and now they're doing the crimes and the violence.
Oh man.
So, yeah. So I'm not. Oh, there he is. How are you,
There
sir?
he is.
GG's, my friend.
GG, thank you.
How'd you feel about the season?
I was feeling. I forgot that the flag was a little longer, so I was feeling really nervous around the 5-minute mark.
That's well, you held in there as long as you could, I guess.
And then around the 20-minute mark, I remembered, wait, no, this is supposed to take a little longer, and it was smooth sailing from there.
Well, you know, since you only play Free Enterprise and you've never tried to play any other video game ever in your life, I can understand how you maybe might get a little confused with the flags. I mean, that tracks, right? That is the situation, right? Right? No.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do my 6 menuing at the beginning of the seed. It's like,
Of course not.
I forgot how to change rows.
Oh, did you really?
I did. It's like,
Oh no.
how do I? Oh, there's a button. This says change.
Oh, and Tella knows black and white magic. Is this even? Oh, wait. Cool. But
Stick shield,
GG's.
man. Thank you.
See, with Tella start and the kit that you got and the flags as they are, talk us through the your early game routing because it was quite strong.
You just loot a few boxes and you hope to spike something, and if you don't spike something, you cry a little bit and use a poison axe. But I found a Stardust Rod, so all was good.
Yep. You had usage of that for that gauntlet, which came in very handy. Joe did not find it, and one of my favorite parts about that fight was you took it off of Tella when you realized that Rosa was going first, and then put it on Rosa with the Omni flags to save time. And you had little efficiencies throughout this entire run, which were very, very fun to watch. So I saw your hilarious message at the beginning of the race. Clearly, you did not need any help. You did a lot of very, very heads-up things here.
Thank you.
I can't really think of any questions to ask. Wow. You did very well, Scar.
Thank you.
Especially since you totally don't play any other randomizers. Totally not.
I think I've played 3 other randomizers since the last time I did a 4 seed.
Yeah, that sounds about right. When you started to dive down the LST, was that, I'm going to do a boss hunt, wait, no I'm not, or, oh no, oh god, K-Moon's not on, oh my god, K-Moon's not on.
So I was doing a boss hunt, and then you're walking down the LST, it's memory was kicking in, so I went and looked at my tracker, and I saw the pan there, and I felt like a moron. Because I could have turned that in as soon as I had the magma key.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes it just takes you. I don't think there's a runner alive that's done enough of this where you've had a free check, and then you've gotten pulled away. It's like, oh well, here's 2 things over here. Well, there's a character over here, and then you just enough time goes by that's like, well, listen, if I haven't turned it in by now, if that was the answer, then it's done, and we have to go ahead and do other things. So honestly, after a while, it actually made complete and total sense not to go ahead and turn that in. Unfortunately,
I just forgot.
It did have go mode for you. The trip down to Evelyn was great because that gave you quite a bit of progression. Joe never went there. I don't think I never thought I would watch a seed where Judge Show did not go to the moon. So this was a little mind blowing for me. But no,
Did he go to the Fame March though?
He did. he took a. You gotta watch me.
And it's still Joe. It's still Joe.
He took out DKC. He didn't count the damage. He took out DKC with double Avenger, whatever, Excal, and whatever
I found
else.
a second one.
Yeah, well, you did too.
I think there were 3.
Yeah, but
I found one at the end of the seed.
Oh yeah, there was. Oh, what were they? I don't know. Well, he did the.
There was one in the tower in the to the left of the super cannon room.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. So.
What a responsible tracker.
Did I miss a box? Did I only do 3 alerts?
I got nothing.
I think so. Yes.
I think you did 3 or 4. I don't really remember correctly, but there was that one at the start that I remember seeing, and I was just like, ugh.
If there was an Avenger in the Tower of Babel, I missed an alert because it's T Wild Max 6.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh well.
Yeah, so with the Max 60, it's not going to be there, but in a normal chest. But yeah, but anyway, I don't think I've ever seen anyone take out DKC. He got one wave off.
Um,
The rolls were low enough that he was able to
yeah.
go ahead and survive the first wave, and then did just a lot of damage.
Yeah, that was a very not blinkable Fey March.
No, it was not. But again, Joe was anchored, and he had that Avenger, so he was able to go ahead and blink. I think it was a Rose that had Excal Venture, and then he got all those headbands and Karate Geese to start. So it was just boom boom. So that Yang went down pretty quick, but I don't think it had anything of value.
Yeah, I probably shouldn't have sold those headbands, but the beta made them a little more expensive. It's like this is a stack of 10 rune rings, like back in the day.
Back in the day, knowing your age, as we discussed off stream, I don't think you're allowed to say that. I'm gonna on behalf of my generation, I'm gonna go ahead and veto that. Is that a boomer move? Am I allowed to do that? Can I veto? I got to talk to the council. The problem
What are
is
you,
we use,
attributing the plebs?
well we use dial-up, so it takes a little while for us to get through there. But I will carrier pigeon my my decision in 4 to 6 weeks. But you're right. If you got that dwarf kit back in the day, you got to go ahead and sell off quite a bit, all those rune rings, for 10k each. So you're not wrong.
Money nice in free enterprise, especially when the shops are crazy.
Yeah, for sure.
It's gonna suck playing normal shops with the life potion change.
Yeah, it's I think any changes that make us react differently, I think are good within reason. This randomizer has been described to me as just a lot of information to learn, which you do incredibly well. It's absurd. Just talking with you, within a couple months, you were telling me things about like damage multipliers that I had no clue, and I'm sitting here like nodding my head, like, okay, cool, yeah. I definitely knew that piece of information. I definitely knew that. Thank you. So, someone like yourself that can, acquire all that information and retain it so well. I think when we find creative ways to apply that information, it just makes seeds like this so fun. And you and Joe did just that. You have all of this information between all the different things that the flags provide, that the gear can provide. Dupes are on, and all these options for finding progression, and you both, in very different but very valid ways, went through the seed, and it was just a blast to watch.
I can agree with that.
But don't say back in the day. All right, so Scar, any other thoughts for us?
Not much. Just thanks all of you for putting on a show and giving me a reason to wake up before noon on a Saturday. And have a good
job, Scar.
rest
You woke
of
up
the
before
day.
noon. I see how I'm up at 6 every day. It shouldn't be a problem. No, I actually 6 asleep, and I'm up at 5 for work. And then at this point, the cats are the ones waking me up. So
Cats are good at that. They're on.
Yes.
They're on. They have internal clocks.
they do, and they have demands and needs. All right,
Yeah.
my brother. Great run, and GG's.
Yeah. Thank you. Jeez. Bye.
All right, so that was Scarcer finishing strong at 1 hour, 10 minutes, and 41 seconds. Neighbor, this was fun. What a seed.
What a seed indeed. And since we do have a raid target, don't we? We're raiding GDQ doing Frost Fatales today, benefiting the National Women's Law Center, playing Super Mario Bros. Wonder. That's an
Very
old game.
Remember this Wonder? I thought Wonder was the new one that just came out. Am I wrong? I'm old.
I have no clue. I don't remember either.
Okie dokie. Well,
I might just not be paying attention.
it should be fun. Feel free to go ahead and give them some love. GDQ does amazing things, obviously. And we will get that right out to you. Neighbor, thank you so much for co-commentating with me. This was an absolute blast.
Thank you as well, Brick. You are an amazing person, and I hope you all have fun over at GDQ, guys. Have a wonderful morning, afternoon, evening, whatever time it is for you. And goodbye, I guess.
Take care, everybody.